Alright, I think it's enough waiting around. Getting into it, another stream. Really looking forward to this. I've been on holiday for 4 days or so, and during the holidays I was thinking, you know what, I want to stream some more AoE 2 and more of this Teen Titans League brick division, which is around that 1200 elo mark. Again, I said in my last stream that it's a little bit higher than my mark, so it's kind of nice to see players that are just a little bit ahead of me. But yeah, just looking forward to casting some of these matches. Just a little bit before we get going, yeah, like I said, I'm pretty interested in casting, and I'm planning to do some more this week. But as you can see, it's pretty low produced kind of stream. I'm just a guy that loves some AoE. Looking to make some improvements on the production side. That really came to mind when I saw some of the other streams. I tuned into Back in Black, who's also covering some of this tournament, and I looked at his stream and was like, oh my god, he's just light years ahead in terms of the production value. Small streamer as well, but he's really got it going on. And actually I did watch a bit of his stream. He was covering the brick division as well. He's actually playing in the tournament, Back in Black, and he was covering some of the games within his division. I think it's division, what's brick division, group C, I think it is. And he covered a game or a set by the Flaming Camel and Alpha Sinus, which, you know, I had some time away from the baby, time away from the wife, you know, just sitting on the couch with some Twitch on, looking at how other people were covering this tournament. And looking at that match, it was, you know, interesting because the Flaming Camel played the first match, was ahead in that match. I think it was on that rocky clearing, you know, with the forest around the middle but the openings on each side. And he got into Alpha Sinus's base with knights. I thought it was all over. You know, lots of villager kills, good micro from him, picking up villagers everywhere. I looked away for a couple of minutes and then came back, and, you know, Alpha Sinus had completely turned the game around. I think he had some lucky, some skillful Mangonel shots, and somehow secured the game. The Flaming Camel kind of tapped out a little bit early, a little earlier than I usually like to see. But, you know, each to their own. They go into the next match. It was Acropolis. And I think it was a bit of a bugged map generation, to be honest. The town centres and the hills that they were on were quite close together. But Alpha Sinus somehow managed to scout some of the Flaming Camel's cows and took them to his base. And I think as soon as the Flaming Camel saw that, he called it GG, a Dark Age GG. And then he didn't play the third game, and it turns out he pulled out of the tournament. Obviously disappointing to see. Disappointing to see a player seemingly getting tilted and then pull out of the tournament. You hate to see that. I don't want to pass too much judgment on the Flaming Camel, because you never know what goes on in people's lives and, you know, the reasons behind these kind of things. But from the outside looking in, it looks like he got tilted and pulled out. It just makes me remember, you know, when I played in this tournament a couple of tournaments ago, we had a guy in our group who was a good player, but the groups are really, really close. And he was struggling to get wins. He had the strategies, he did belong in the group from a skill level, but he just had a hard time getting wins. And he was very discouraged, but he kind of stuck with it and got a few wins at the end. But I heard through the rumour mill that he was also considering pulling out, but he stuck with it and got those wins in the end. Guy by the handle I Love Turtles, I think. So shout out to that guy. You know, it's hard when you get put into these brackets. You know, sometimes you're at the top of the bracket, sometimes you're at the bottom of the bracket. It just depends on the elo. But you know, it can be discouraging when you're paired with higher skilled players. You don't get those wins, and yet you come back week after week. But you know, I just encourage people to stick with it. If you're in the tournament, you're in the tournament for good. You're there to, yeah, hopefully win, but also you're here to have a good time, make contact with some people, as I know I did when I played. So, you know, it's a bit disappointing from the side of the brick bracket that the Flaming Camel pulled out, but you know, don't get discouraged because there's lots of people in the tournament as far as I can see, and you know, some of the repeat names from when I played. A lot of people in this tournament that are keen to play, keen to meet some new people, and you know, just have some good games. So you know, this is a great community. The T90 Discord is always popping. It's a great place to be. So anybody in the brick division, you know, don't be discouraged by that. I don't actually know how that's going to work admin-wise though. So if he's pulled out, if the Flaming Camel's pulled out, what does that mean for the people playing in that group? Do they just get the automatic 3-0? I'm sure that's fine, but you know, it would be interesting to know how that kind of resolves itself. But yeah, with that covered, you know, we're going to get into this game by the Lord Benji, I think his name is, and Can't Touch Me. Love those names. Can't Touch Me. Let's see if that's actually true. Can we? Is he also gonna live up to the name Can't Touch Me? We'll see. But actually, before I get into this, let's have a look at the drafts. Oh, you know what? I have accidentally deleted the browser. If you just hold on with me for 1 second, I am going to sort that out. One moment. Look, it's a bit janky, as I said. Low budget stream, right? Hope you're all seeing this, but what the draft was really interesting, I think, because I think these are some of my favourite maps. You know, the more unconventional maps. Not a big fan of the closed maps, so you know, these maps are right up my alley. Pacific Islands for Lord Benji, Evacuation, Can't Touch Me on my favourite map. Evacuation is my favourite map, 100%. And Shoals. So Shoals is the admin pick. What are we thinking for the picks? So Spanish, Georgians, Persians, Portuguese, Byzantines for the likes of Lord Benji. I guess Portuguese on Pacific Islands, Persians maybe, for the hybrid map, although Byzantines are also good for the hybrid map. Georgians obviously very strong pick, and maybe Spanish is a comfort pick. Italians by Can't Touch Me, you know, they're going to work well on those hybrid maps, or probably Pacific Islands, I would say here. What about Evacuation? Don't know. I don't know about the Vikings pick either. Yeah, more of a mixed bag there for me by Can't Touch Me, but you know, maybe he's seen something that I'm not seeing. I guess, actually, I think Vikings on shoals could be a potential. Having a longboat, yeah, maybe. Or again, Pacific Islands, maybe it's Italians on shoals. We'll see. But yeah, interesting map drafts and sit picks. Let's get to the game. So Byzantines for Lord Benji and Italians for Can't Touch Me. So good picks. Let's get going. Here we go. Alright, I'd kind of like to see the ELO differences here before we get going. You know, they're pretty close in ELO. You know, about less than 50 apart. So it should be a pretty even match, although, sorry, I thought we had two kills there on the side of Lord Benji. We already have a deer pushed in for Can't Touch Me, so he's going to go for the deer push, and I think that's wise. There are a lot of deer on this map. You can get to feudal quite easily with no farm production. Yeah, Italians. I really like Italians. Italians are one of my favourite civs. Again, great on water maps, great on the hybrid maps. Just a solid pick, but you know, Byzantines with their fast fire ships. You do see, it'll be interesting because I've been watching a lot of the Platinum League, the Gold League, the Silver League that T90 has been covering, and you see a lot of galley play for the pros. This ain't pros. This is 1200, 1300 kind of play. Will we see the fire galley as the preferred option at this level? For me personally, that's what I'll be doing. But then again, these guys are slightly higher than me, so it'll be interesting to see how they play it. Also, just while we have this moment as a starting point for shoals can play a little bit slow at the beginning, I think. Just want to say a big shout out to all the other casters out there. You know, the tactical tea time staple of the scene. I've got a Milo. Do Americans know what Milo is? I don't know. Maybe it's an Australian thing. These are kind of the things that I've never checked or wondered about, but now that I think about it, is this the tactical tea time approved drink, Milo? Don't know. We've also got Scrappy Coco, does some, is playing in the tournament. You know, dare to say an online friend of mine, his screen name is the Grape Juice. So, you know, is grape juice the approved drink for his stream? Yeah, don't know. Look, I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm not a streamer. I heard some kind of jingle jangle noise in the background. I can only assume that's a good thing. Yeah. If anybody's there, hello. Hope you enjoy the cast. Again, I'm going to get into the production value a little bit down the track when I have the time to figure that out. But yeah, we've got a lot on food on Can't Touch Me. He's got his first fishing boat out. Little bit behind on the Byzantines for fishing boats, so we're seeing an early eco league here for Can't Touch Me, and those little things can make all the difference, I swear. Getting that first fishing boat out that much sooner can all snowball into that early feudal age kind of play. Yeah, I'm also pretty keen to see how these players play this, as we see Can't Touch Me go up to feudal already. You know, he would have had a lot of villages on those boars and water buffalo just dropping off, whereas we can see, yeah, Lord Benji a little bit behind. I feel like Can't Touch Me's kind of got that. He's obviously been practicing because he got that really quick uptime where we're only seeing 235 food on Lord Benji. 2 fishing chips. You know, he's just got the eco balance right. And I love to see the second wood camp. If you can do it, if you got the wood to do it, makes your woodline that much more efficient. You've got to go into boats right on shoals. You've got to get this water control. You need the wood supply, and we already see him go to gold as well to secure that. So I'm highly in favour of Can't Touch Me here so far. You know, I don't know about these walls though. For Lord Benji, obviously you've got the shallows here. You can just walk right around it. So, you know, you want to make use of the houses as much as possible, create choke points. It's always a good idea. But yeah, I wouldn't focus on that. You know, walls here are a good idea, then they have to come round. You got the tower close to your fishing, or your galleys or fire galleys can kind of clog up those choke points. Again, a little bit late to gold here for the water play, I think. But we are seeing the double dock for both players. And we're going for galleys. So I really need to learn how to play this part of the map. This isn't 4 lakes where you go for the fire ships as the common play. This is shoals. For whatever reason, galleys are the play on shoals. You know, we don't want to see them run into this. That's really unfortunate. But at least he did save the ship there. So, you know, if Lord Benji isn't paying attention with the health, you know, this ship can still have the same effect. Again, going to the tower, oh, that's tough. That's tough. And we're seeing the fire galleys, Lord Benji, so this is exactly what I want to see. I want to see the difference between the ships. What is more effective? Yeah, I want to see that. And yeah, we're seeing, you know, there's a lot of fish on this map, so getting the balance right between fishing ships and naval production, the amount of docks, all of that comes into play. So both favouring the military side, maybe want to win water before you kind of go into more ships would be the play. You know, we're seeing Lord Benji get horse collar, favour the farms. Maybe he's not as confident that he'll get the fishing eco, so, you know, invest in farms earlier. He's got the wood upgrade, where we're seeing Can't Touch Me is not going for the upgrades. You know, I think the wood upgrade here is super important if you're going to go for military production, or ship production, military ship production. You know, it's such an important upgrade. And we're already seeing a discrepancy here in the wood that is available. Yeah, we're actually seeing Can't Touch Me transition into a fire galley. And we actually saw him produce a fishing ship, so he was really confident that he was going to win water. could he produce another ship? But does it matter? Because maybe this is exactly the way you want to do it, because he's on the Castle Age. He's achieved the past Castle Age economy. He's got these fishing ships safe here underneath that tower. And he's even going for, oh no, sorry. He produced another galley. That's really interesting. That he's sticking with the galleys. He did come over here and it looks like he sniped, sorry I missed it, sniped the fishing ships. So, you know, can we say that he's got value here from this position? 8 fire galleys is huge. We've seen Can't Touch Me, he's not going to give up on water necessarily, because here's the other dock. Yeah, impressive stuff. But yeah, I would have been scouting across here a little bit earlier with all these ships that Lord Benji has, because he's just been able to get these 7 fishing ships completely uninterrupted fishing here. So he's just going to try and build up these galley numbers. Yeah. I think I'm favouring still Can't Touch Me here. And Italians, I mean. I guess I'm biased because I'm an Italian Civ player, but liking the Civ pick. Although, if we're gonna, you know, talk about both places, you know, Byzantines with those strong castles can secure these side golds really well. Cheap units, cheap counter units, so you know, what's the play here in terms of land army from Italians? You know, it's usually archers. So you can kind of produce, I'm pretty sure you can produce pretty cheap skirmishers, right, as a counter unit. As we're even seeing the blocking of the dock here. This is high level stuff, in my opinion, compared to my skill level, but that was quite impressive, so shout out to Benji there. Yeah, I was wondering where all those fire ships were. They're huddling in the corner, scared about these galleys. You know, unupgraded fire ships against galleys. I guess the galleys can kite fire ships. So you know, maybe it's wise to wait until those upgrades. You don't want to go unupgraded unit against upgraded unit. But you know, gotta hand it to Can't Touch Me. You know, I think he's made the galley play work, in my opinion. Maybe throw in a few demo ships as well to really secure the deal. Not sure, but yeah, we're actually seeing galleys from Benji as well. So he's going to try and match galleys with galleys. Got double TC here for Can't Touch Me, which you love to see. We still see no contestation of the sides, so you know, there's something I'm looking forward to as well. When do these players decide to go? Do they decide to go early? Is it in early Castle Age they decide to go? And actually we're seeing that naval fight now. We've got 19 warships versus 7 plus a couple of fire galleys, but you know, they are being lured into that tower there a little bit. Just lure them a bit further and you'll be great. Those fire ships, they're gone. So I think that's decisively, although I don't think Lord Benji did a bad job there, but he was always fighting at a disadvantage. So maybe not the wisest to take that flight until you've got equal or better numbers. But I really see Lord Benji as a land player. He's a land player playing on a water map or a hybrid map, whereas I see the build of Can't Touch Me, really playing into the hybrid map structure of the game. So, yeah, and we're seeing a lot on stone right now. So we know he's going for that castle. He actually has enough for that castle, and we've got the wandering villagers to the side going to plant that castle down. That's a very aggressive castle, but what is Can't Touch Me going to do about it? He doesn't even have any production villagers, I don't think. So why not? Has he scouted that? It's a bit risky because he doesn't know that there's no military production buildings based on his scouting. So it's a bit of a leap of faith there. This is also a lot of idle villager time, but I guess they're going to drop a town centre down there, so I get it. Also, I think what would be good in this match is to get wheelbarrow. If you're kind of going over to that side of these villages, they're walking very slow. Wheelbarrow would be nice, get a bit of speed on those villages. You don't want to be dawdling over there at a crawl. But he secured the site, so not a terrible spot for Lord Benji. He's got one side already, and he's going to go for that town centre. I didn't actually know you could plant a town centre amongst the gold. You just need the just right kind of town centre position, which he's found. So that's great. If we're going to look at the scouting of Can't Touch Me, he does not know that castle's there. He scouted the left gold, not the right gold. So maybe where you would expect him to go to the left gold, the more explored gold. But he is well and truly one water. He kind of just needs to go to Imperial now, I believe, with that villager lead, very substantial villager lead, and get those cannon galleons up. I think might be the play, but we're actually seeing the Byzantines get that Imperial Age first. Not surprising they get that discount, so maybe I shouldn't be too surprised, but yeah, and with the less villager count, and we've got that third town centre on that gold, so they've both secured a gold, which should make for a interesting late game, if only Lord Benji can get past the villager discrepancy a bit. Looks like we're going to go for some relics as well. So yeah. Got double monastery. I feel like he's going double monastery just for the relics. And I feel like Can't Touch Me is sticking around in Castle Age, just a little bit too long. Just a little bit too long, because I think you can really press here. You know that he doesn't have many ships. Maybe you're nervous that he will, catch up in the ships, but he's still producing war galleys. I think this is more than enough. He's got he's got ballistics, he's got bodkins, he's got 46 ships. That's, I think, too many ships. especially when you don't see that many ships on the other side. You know, transitioning over to that land game, pretty important. You know, even transitioning to fishing ships at this point, because I feel like you're one water. Yeah, and fast fire ship, that's an interesting choice, because you'll need some numbers to make that work, and the numbers aren't there yet. There's no castle to protect these docks either, so yeah, it's a real land game, Can't Touch Me, a real water game for Can't Touch Me, and a real land game for Lord Benji. See the housing quarter of the base. This is where the villagers come to live. They do their work out here, come to the jungle at night, have a bit of a sleep, come back out. I love to see the panic drop of houses. Yeah, just lure them back into that tower fire. Although, you know, fast fire ships again have that good pierce armor. So, you know, what do I know? This seems to be working well for Lord Benji. Little unexpected, you know. Could you be microing a bit more? Yes, but you know, at this level, when you've got so much other things to manage, you're not going to be microing your war galleys. So this is what I'm saying. Is the galley play at this level the right play? I'm undecided, because maybe Can't Touch Me should have just put a few extra demolition ships in there, ready, prepared for that eventuality. Yeah, and again, the Byzantines like to have the fast fire ship at their disposal because of their advantage. I think they fire faster, their fire ships. So this is all in range of Lord Benji. But we are seeing castle come up. We're seeing Genoese crossbowmen. As far as I can tell, we haven't seen any horsemen. So that is a curious choice. Maybe I would have just gone with Arbalester. That is very unfortunate, actually. Yeah. Feels kind of unraveling a little bit here for Can't Touch Me. You know, I thought he had this, like, hands down. But the game is in question to me. You know, the panic is setting in because these villagers are not being looked after right now. His attention is elsewhere. You know, he's controlling this front. He's not looking back here. He's going to look back and he's going to say, where did my town centre go? It ain't there. It's all in range. Well, actually that is not in range of the Romans, otherwise I would have taken it out by now. And we even have a trebuchet roaming through the base. Oh no, you hate to see that. You know, I think the craziness is getting to him a bit. Oh, the castle is in range of the Dromans. I think the Dromans should just sit there, because what are the Genoese crossbowmen got to do to a Droman? And these trebuchets are also in range. So, got the condottieri, an interesting choice. Makes sense. We've got the multiple villager wall coming up. We see him. We see Lord Benji responding. That's great to see. You know, adapting, high responsiveness. Yeah, and it's just falling apart a bit. Yeah, Can't Touch Me. And he's fallen way behind in score as well. That castle's gone down. You had a couple of ships left. If I was Can't Touch Me, I'd be thinking, how on earth did I lose water? Because he was in such a strong position. And we've got the cataphract. That's going to go down pretty easy. If I was him, I'd stop producing cataphracts and just starting producing trebuchets. Your castles are stronger than this. You've got more HP in your castles, you can win that treb war, you're just going your cataphracts away at that point. Just produce trebuchets. You can win the castle war, you can go to university, get masonry or something and hoardings, beef up those castles. We're seeing a transition here to archery range. So is he thinking skirmishes? He's got a lot of gold. Oh no, not that much gold in the bank. He's still working at a villager disadvantage. As far as I'm aware, Conatiero's got quite a lot of pierce armor. Well, it's not true actually. He's got one pierce armor on those right now. Yes, it is skirmisher. He's going for the skirmisher. But he's going to need to pair that with something else. I need to see a double unit combo here for Benji. And that unit is the cataphract. I'm going for that castle creep. Again, you could have won that treb war. It's easy for me to sit here and say that because there's a lot going on in the game. I could still be wrong. Maybe that's the wrong play. But in these high pressure situations, sometimes you just forget things. I just feel this is an interesting game because again the score lead is highly in favour of Can't Touch Me. Of Benji. But Can't Touch Me has got all of those villages. Can't Touch Me has so much more res collected. So I can't make heads or tails of it. We see them at control, creeping into Can't Touch Me's favour. We've got the water control easy. Should he be catching up in eco with fishing ships at this point? Because you've won water. Why not get some fishing ships out there? You've got the wood for it, that's for certain. He just doesn't have an answer for this. These units are miles away. We've got the Conatiero coming in and killing these villages. I just feel like the responsiveness that I thought was there from Benji is just slipping a bit. He's gone to defensive turtle mode, securing this base, and then perhaps pushing out from that base. I think that's a mistake, especially letting all those villages go. He's going to try and make a break for it. That ain't going to happen, I'm afraid. Although they've made it pretty far. The villagers are sitting there, walking side by side with the enemy. Although those Conatiero have got other ideas. And then a betrayal in the woods. Thought of the ceasefire, there was not. Oh, that was a very close shot. And you got the double direction going as well, just being hemmed in closer and closer. So I'm not favouring Benji despite that score lead, although we've seen that score lead evaporate quickly. gosh, those Genoese crossbowmen need to be awfully careful, especially now that those counter units are on the field. You need to take those crossbowmen back, get the Canottieri in there to mop up those skirmishes. Like I said, you needed the double unit combo if you were Benji. You needed the double unit unit combo because that's just going to be a bloodbath. And this turtle strap, that's not going to work. You've got trebs on your line there. No matter how many walls you put up, yeah, that ain't going to work, I'm afraid. This is unprotected, although protected by the ships, I guess. Even more skirmishes. You've got raids in the back going on. Desperately trying to get those walls up. You need to see these villagers build some barracks here to stop the long journey of the Canottieri. And again, Lord Benji can't clean this area up to wall this off. But you know, we are seeing a score comeback for Lord Benji. Don't know how it's possible, considering the village discrepancy, the res discrepancy, 65 to 48. This is not, in my opinion, a close game, but Lord Benji is making it one. The defensive strategy somewhat working, or maybe delaying the inevitable. But most of this army is not useful from Lord Benji. It's all boats. Especially now that all of those elite skirmishers are dead again. We're seeing quite a low amount of resources on Lord Benji's side, so maybe he's starving him out a little bit. I'd be setting up these Genoese crossbowmen right next to these walls, so no more walls could be built at this point. Police from the Italians. I'm seeing a little bit of pushback on this side. Again, like I said, if you're Byzantines, you can win a castle war, especially when it's 2-1. We need to see a bit of quickness come in here, which, to be fair, we are seeing. We got triple armor on these Canottieri, so they're not going to go down to this archer-fighter quickly, and Pavis also affects them, so their PS armor is through the roof. I would just send this into the economy, start them out. You've got all of the PS armor, you know, these units are never going to die to archer fire, to town centre fire, to castle fire. You just need to get into the economy at this point. Send these around here, maybe zone out the gold. Yeah, I just feel like Lord Benji does not have any resources to maintain this anymore. He can't handle it with, again, no resource, none on gold right now. Plenty on wood. Good for skirmishes, but yeah, it's not going to cut it. And we even see Canttouchme producing galleon. I don't think you need ships. I think you've won the game. You do not need ships. You do not need to come back on water. Again, these crossbowmen need to come forward and support. Even a bit more forward. But then again, like I said, he's been starved out. Don't think there's much of a chance for that comeback. Although again, Lord Benji's ahead in score. Maybe he's thinking, how am I losing? I'm ahead in score. How is this possible? You know, why would I call GG if you're ahead in score? So, you know, score can be deceiving, I think. Again, you just didn't need the galleons. You just needed to push up the middle here. And this is what I wanted to see a little while ago, is the barracks put closer. The skirmisher play is coming up. Maybe you can push out. I don't think you can, but I think even this number of generally crossbowmen could take out, well, it is 21 with 16 with 20 in the queue. You know, that's interesting. They do have a lot of, they have to go for that bonus damage, but they do have a lot of pierce armor on these things. They need to get in here and kill those skirmishers. I think I'm just seeing a little lack of that killer instinct. You know, if you can just sneak behind here, get in here, the farm eco's gone, the wood eco's gone. I guess he doesn't fully know what's going on back here. So, you know, hard to criticize in that respect. And I think maybe we're going for the ram play now. Could also see him selling some of these resources. You know, it's going for quite a gold intensive lineup, so you don't need to be floating all of that food and wood. Bombard cannon. Okay, this is going to steal the game. Bombard cannon, you get that castle down, you take these buildings out, no more production buildings, and then it's all over. Where are these cat bricks? Why have they disappeared off my map? I was just thinking, where are they? I see a couple of them, but I think there might be a bug there. But again, Lord Benji still got that score lead. Why would you GG when you got the score lead? Get these bombard cannons out, you know, like. You take this castle out. Oh, that's why I can't see it. They're in a transport ship. He might be going for the transport ship play. You know, raid some unprotected economy. I like the ingenuity. These cannons do not need to be shooting at houses. Get the castle. Come through here. This is where the economy is. This is where 32 villages are, or alternatively come and take the gold. Maybe that's the play. He wants to come around this way. That makes sense. Well, he's taken out a few houses, so, you know, Lord Benji is housed, so strategy success. We haven't seen an overwhelming number of army here for Can't Touch Me, you know. There's only 19 Genoese crossbowmen now, so he hasn't kind of refreshed it, or the refreshers are back here. Would like to see them come forward. You know, this is not enough necessarily to secure that, but yes, sorry, apologies. We see that counter raid happening on the other side. Benji's still very much dialed in, wanting to win this game. Although we have seen that score flip now quite substantially. And has Can't Touch Me even seen this? Not sure he has, because this is uncontested. You could even take those treads out with your villagers. He's going to turn back here and think, gosh, where are all my villagers? They're dead. Very interesting. You know, and this army's just sitting here, not doing anything. No killer instinct. We need that killer instinct. Seeing the trap over here now, though, you know, I feel even with this raid, and the panic castle, after he has now realised what's going on, I feel like even with that raid, it won't matter, because where is Lord Benji going to get that economy from? The map is getting smaller and smaller, getting smaller very slowly, but it is happening. And we are seeing the counterplay. As soon as this is put out, this fire put out, again, focus can be on this front. Yeah, it's just going to run under this TC now. You know, that TC is going to go down extremely quickly. Although I feel like that was a mistake, considering how many archers went down there. And there's the GG. Impressive stuff from both players. Both players really wanting that win, playing through all of that. I thought there was some chops and changes with who was winning, who wasn't winning. I thought Lord Benji was going to make a comeback there, but again, I just feel like he had the skirmishes and he had a few cataphracts. I just don't think the cataphracts were the play. I think another unit would have been good in response. You know, wasn't some of that hand cannoneers? Well, that's a foolish thing to say, because Condottiero counter hand cannoneers. What do you counter Condottieros with? Not sure, but I feel like the castles needed to produce those trebuchets to win this castle war that was happening over here. I feel like he could have held this base and then kind of come up with that second unit. Although I can't think of what that unit is now, so maybe you just counter it with your own champions. Although I know Italians are also very good with the Hussar. Is that the play? Hussar's very good with the Italians? I'm not sure. And then focus with your castles on trebuchets. I might have gone that route. Actually, before we get into the next game, just have a look at the score. Close on the KD ratio. That's what set this apart for me. This is why I didn't really have that much concern for Can't Touch Me. Much more res collected. Technologies, surprise that I can never say surprise that the Byzantines got there first because of their advantages there, but I thought the Italians might get there first. APM. Okay, this is my situation. I might be in the 20s for APM, maybe high 20s for APM. Hard to compete when the APM is 53 for the other players, so I'm rooting for Benji because I'm with you, man. Like, APM is hard to get. So sorry, wrong person there. Oh goodness, not that many wins. Let's have a look at the next game. Evacuation. Alright, before we get into this match, let me have a little look at the chat. Back in Black, good to see you, man. Again, enjoyed your cast the other day. Says heavy cav or archers. That's how you counter condotieros. I would agree. The only problem is that you got the double archer combo. That would be the only thing I would say there. Am I playing in T90’s League this time around? No, but I have in the past. So hope to sometime in the future as well. Yeah, agreed. Can't Touch Me needed one demo. 100% agree. In that fight. Good to have you with us, Back in Black. Alright, Evacuation. My favourite map of the tournament so far. Persians, Malians. Let's have a think of these picks here. Again, not two sets I play too often. And their advantages. But faster TCs, I believe, for Persians, faster docks for Persians, so they work really well on hybrid maps. Malians have the wood bonus, I believe, so you'll have more wood in the bank to get those ships out. So I can see the logic here for both players. But they're not top tier hybrid maps, I think. I'm thinking Japanese. I'm thinking Dravidians. I'm thinking Italians. Obviously, Italians have already been picked. So these are kind of like the B tier for me in terms of hybrid maps. But let's see how this plays out. Should be a good one. Now, like I was talking about in the last stream, what is the ideal strategy for this map? I'm still leaning towards you want to get most of your economy off this island. At the end of the day, there's much more resources down here with gold and stone. The wood line's obviously much, much better. And you've got cracked terrain where your buildings take a little bit extra damage, I think. So, if you build castles down here, or just any building in general, it's going to go down pretty quick. Pretty hard to defend. I'd like to see coming off the island to the mainland, I think is the strategy, but totally open to seeing how these guys play it, because again, these guys are a little bit better than me, so I'm just taking notes to see what the best strategy is. I think the scouting of this map is so important, because you need to get these cows. There's 150 food on each of these cows. There is a lot of them, and then if you get those cows, you still need to get them past this land or this shallow area to the island. So there is a bit of counter play there. If you let one player get the cows, you can take your scout over, sit in the shallows there, steal the cows. That's always quite fun, I think. So early scouting, I think, is pretty indicative of who is prepared and who might be less prepared. We see both of them scouting their main area so far, but we see Can't Touch Me come to the mainland. So again, I think Can't Touch Me might be that little bit more prepared than Benji. Although I don't want to flame anybody, because in terms of level of preparation, I know it's hard to find the time to make that preparation, but saying that, they're both over there. They both seem to have a pretty good grasp of this map and what is required in terms of getting those cows. We see both players docking even the preemptive palisades, so Can't Touch Me on top of this game. We're going to see pretty even contest leading into feudal age. So these are both knight civs as well, so it's knight versus knight. Malians can get the camels, counter Persian knights. What else did Persians get? I feel like they're just a knight civ. They can get those cheap the trash bows, the cheap crossbows made of wood, no gold. They don't upgrade it to Arbalesta. We could see that as a counterplay to something like camels, who are susceptible to archer fire. But I think we're going to see a cavalry on cavalry violence here. Maybe we're seeing a little bit of this advantage come to play here. Faster docks for Persians. Getting out 3 fishing ships to 2. Sorry, do I have that wrong actually? It is the Hindustanis. I get them confused. One of them has faster villager production, which I think is Persians. And then Hindustanis is cheaper. No, I think it's the other way around. I think Persians have cheaper. Now I'm just confusing myself. It could be one or the other. But we're not seeing a big eco lead for Persians, so that would lead me to believe, and similar idle TC time, that might lead me to believe that they have cheaper villages. Let's just check the chat, see if anybody can help me out here. Yes, back in black, thank you very much. Persians are faster, Hindustan is cheaper. Thank you very much. Yeah, so we should see an eco advantage kind of build in the favour of Persians. We saw this last time from Benji. A very defensive player. Very scared that there's going to be some kind of counterplay, preemptive walls. In the last game we saw double stone wall. So we're looking at defensive player. I think with Can't Touch Me, you know, he went aggressive on the boats in the last game, but you know, didn't have that killer instinct blow. So he's got that aggression, got the production of military units, but won't push it to that overwhelming kind of level. I think what's interesting here is Benji saves his cows for the mainland. So he won't need farms for a while, but interesting that he decided not to bring them up here. Where I think we're seeing that Can't Touch Me did do that, which I tend to agree with. But yeah, we've got the archery range for Malians. Now, Malians known for archers. They do get Arbalester. They don't get the final archer upgrade. And sorry, I've completely missed this, but we're actually going for a men-at-arms rush. So maybe that defensive play was correct. You know, he did have to loop around. Oh, but there's a hole. Oh, that is tough. That is really tough. But, you know, fair play to... oh, you did not need to go and fight these men-at-arms though. You just need... The tower's so close to being up. Get the tower up first. You know, fair enough. He did kill those men-at-arms. But I feel like get the tower up first and then kill them. You know, he lost 3 villages there. I think the play was to get the tower up first, and you know, he still hasn't got the tower up. You know, he's just gone back to working. You know, tower's not necessary anymore. Kill the threat. It can wait. There's no reason for it. Oh, there we go. Tower's up, gold secured. More coming to the mainland. Have not been paying attention to water. This is why I love this map the most. There's just so much going on, and these players' attention is all over the map because there's so much to track. You've got your island, you're responding to a men-at-arms rush, you've got the transition to this island, you've got to manage your economy at the same time. Yeah, it's the most challenging map for sure, and the player that can you know, compartmentalize each thing appropriately is the one that's going to come out on top. So we're seeing Lord Benji actually take a bit of a score lead here. You know, he did lose 3 villages, that sucks, but he responded to it well. We're seeing that Benji took the fishing off him as well, while the fishing is going strong still for Benji, but only 3 ships, so I feel like water has not been a huge focus in the games that I've seen so far. You know, it is those couple of fishing ships to get that kind of early eco lead, but we haven't seen people really invest or over-invest on water. And I'm not sure what these archers are going to do. That tower is already there. I would just loop these around. You know that he would have transitioned to land, to the mainland, and that's exactly what he's going to do, which is good to see. But he's, yeah, he knew it as well, so I love the preemptive towers. He knows what's coming. So he's got ahead of it very well. We will see some villager kills, most likely, and at this stage I would be backing out. You know, maybe the back out was a little too slow. You don't need to chase. You're just giving him kills. The tower does what it needs to do. Don't need to chase with those villagers. So, you know, Benji could have a few refinements there on the tower defense. Once you've got a tower up, he's not going to come down with those archers. Oh, and we even see a deleted wood camp to get that perfect town center. So a little while to go yet for Can't Touch Me to get to that next age. So we're seeing Benji getting those faster uptimes because Can't Touch Me is investing in that military. But is he getting enough value on those kills to make it all worth it? The eco kill to death 8-2, you know, he has gotten value out of the military, but is it enough? It'll be interesting to see. I think it could be enough in the sense that Can't Touch Me has killed those 8 villages, so Lord Benji's gone into his castle age with quite a weak economy. You can see that through the resources that he currently has, whereas Can't Touch Me has a much healthier eco going into castle with resources to spare, and we can see that in the res collected a little bit as well. So once he hits that castle age, you know, we could see kind of a power spike potentially, and that power spike is going to be knights, which makes sense. We're talking Malians here. Knight serve, camels. That is a bit of a curious choice for me because we haven't seen any knights on the side of Persians. Maybe it's preemptive, you know, you're expecting knights, so you go for camels first. When you see the knights come out, your camels are ready. That's why maybe you would see camels, but I would probably go into knights and then transition to camels if you see knights on the side of the Persians. And these villagers are being scalded to death, you know, back to town centre to perhaps get some treatment for those burns, or they'll just suck it up and go to that wood line. Now, I don't know about this matchup, guys. It's not something I've seen before. Camels versus fire ship, who wins? It looks like the camels win. There you go. Camels counter fire ships. You've seen it here first. We see 3 town centres for Benji. They all are working, so we should see a little bit of an eco lead pick up here to the 2 town centres of Can't Touch Me. So that bodes well for Benji to make this comeback. But it's a coin flip for me here. You know, maybe slight favourite to Benji with the 60 villages. But we do have the military there. We can't touch me. So yeah, it's a coin flip for me, really. The thing is though, how much damage can you really do on this mainland with military in Castle Age? Unless you do a hard push, right? Unless you've got your siege behind this, but it's quite unrateable because you're going to put your town centres around the resources. You'd have to come in here and kill villages while they're putting this economy up. which is just not possible, and you know, didn't really see it that much in previous games either. So raiding, and of course camels are not a great raiding unit. This, I guess this is exposed, but we don't even see forging on these camels. So again, I would like to see knights. You know, if you get knights with double armor, forging, you know, you can potentially tank some of those town centre hits. Maybe you can come under here with an overwhelming number of knights, take out some villages. But, you know, we've got the pike response with the armour as well. So we are seeing the counter to the camels there. I just think camels were the wrong play. Needed to be knights, and then transition into that Malian infantry. You know, maybe that's, you know, when you go into these games, I think you need to plan ahead with what's your opening, what are you thinking he will respond with, and then you get to your most powerful unit. So if the play is go into some cavalry, make him make the pike switch, and then go into your infantry, I can make sense of that for sure. I would say this castle is quite ambitious, considering he's producing a unit that counters your unit, and this is aggressive. You know, maybe you can just rush it up while the armies are fighting. Highly likely, and you know, you're not going to be able to get all these villages around this castle at the same time either. So it's not going to be the quickest castle to get up. Ranges this wood line, but it doesn't. It secures this gold. But you know, maybe I'd like to see it here. Take away these 3 resources. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of camel deaths. A lot of camel deaths, and I think it's a little bit unnecessary. You didn't have the units for it. Even though I can't say he's going to win the fight, it's probably not a resource efficient kind of fight. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, we actually only see 4 camels left there from that large group, and he's sticking with the camels. I just don't understand the unit choice, you know, especially because you've seen pikes on the floor. So that's very curious to me. And he's going for the Gabetta, so you know, maybe that's, you don't need the infantry. You've kind of got your special unit there to take out those pikes. But it's castle and castle. I feel at this stage of the game, I feel like you need to rush to that Imperial, get there first as a trip war. Castle and castle trip war determined by who gets an Imperial first. And we see Can't Touch Me pick up. So I think that's what he saw as well. But we also see Benji inching there. He should be clicking it right now. Can't waste any time getting to that Imperial. There we go. Perfect. Again, if you had knights with that pierce armor, that high attack, you could be in here. You could be wreaking havoc. You know, even if this is 8 villages, you know, you got to get an eco elite. Sometimes 10 villages, 8 villages. That's all you need. Now these Gabettos, even if it's just pikemen, I don't know. You can't be running your camels in there though, you know. But seems to be getting away with it. but they will go down. Maybe. He'll get a camel out of it. Or is he? Yeah, he did get a camel out of it. Now this is where we need to see a bit of growth on Benji's side, because again, the unit composition can be improved a little bit, I believe. So he's only got pikemen. Very interesting. You know, maybe he's a little freaked out from the camel, but I feel like if you're Persians, you want to get into your knights yourself and find value with those knights, which we are seeing him do, which I'm very happy to see. You know, and Can't Touch Me hasn't invested into more camels, so I think it's the right play. Again, this is so curious. We actually see War Galley again, like more investment on water late from Can't Touch Me. I think water's irrelevant at this point. Why do you need water at this stage? This is a land game. You're both on the mainland. You need to be investing in this. All attention should be right here. That's just my opinion. Seeing a lot of Gebetto from the side of Can't Touch Me. I think Can't Touch Me has seen the knights. You know, maybe Lord Benji should have held those knights back a little bit, because I think it's given the green light Can't Touch Me to produce more camels. We're seeing an assassin's mission here, going for the treads. You know, you're going to get the treads, and you might win that trip war. So, fair play. And actually we see Benji win that trap war. He had traps on both sides, so he did have the trap numbers. And we're seeing these economies absolutely fly. We've got 130 villages on Benji, 112 on Can't Touch Me. We do see not that much military on both players. We see a lot of floating gold on Benji, so citadels now, goodness. If I'm being honest, I don't even know what citadel does. I think it affects their castles. Is it like the old burning oil tech? Yeah. Again, if I was Can't Touch Me, you've lost the trap war. So you're not going to take down a castle with one trap. That trap has to go, and it went too late. You know, you could have saved both of those traps, I think. Now I understand what Citadel does. I've never seen this before, if I'm being honest. These are gunpowder shots coming out of these castles, so high attack. Seeing attack of 11 plus 5. If we check that against the Malian castle, it's 11 plus 2. So, and we did see multiple bullets. Well, you see multiple arrows come out of castles, of course. So, I think Can't Touch Me. Sorry, I get them confused with Say My Name for some reason. You know, the pro players Say My Name. But I think this is a bit of a desperation play to see what economy you can find, not finding anything. Wow, we're seeing a lot of knights here. Oh, we're seeing a lot of camels too. But paired with the halberdier, we're finally seeing that unit combo that we want to see from Benji. Farimba from Can't Touch Me. That's the tech you want to get to. I feel like the Marnies are built around that tech. Yep. You know, I don't hate this from Benji. You've got how many trebs there? 5 trebs. You can sacrifice some units to get rid of that castle. I don't hate it, because this castle is going to go down. No matter what. You got reinforcements coming in. You going to take out some production buildings? Yes. I think this is good. You take these back now. Save some of those trebs if you can. If you can, of course. Kill some of their units while they're trying to take out your trebs. I don't mind that dragon. I don't mind it. You retreat back, you surge forward again. Build up those hellpounders. They do both have unit combos that are complementary here, but these Gebettos, they're going to go down quick. You don't have a castle to do them anymore. That's why I was seeing this double castle. Yeah, I'm not sure about that double castle, but if you're really relying upon your Gebettos, you need the production buildings. Getting conscription, production of Gebetto at that castle as well. Yeah, impressive game. This is an impressive game from both sides here. I feel like when the Savar comes out, and we didn't have chain barding armor on those knights, which I think is big. So this is only going to improve. These halberdiers need to chill. Just chill, bro. Bring him back to the castle. You're all good. We're even seeing a swordsman transition as well. You know, I feel like you've invested in those castles to get the Gebettos, and now you're second guessing yourself, and you're like, wow, maybe we need the swordsman as well. I get it, maybe a fallback option if the castles don't go well, or you know, they need to produce trebs or something. You know, you need the numbers. Yeah, don't hate it. Don't hate it. It's one of these stalemate kind of games now of who's gonna micro better, you know, who's gonna get the counter unit on the right unit. So it's all down to military control now. Oh, wow, we actually see 143 villages on Can't Touch Me. That is a lot of villages. That is so many villages. Yeah, we're seeing both players' attentions diverted, I think. And I feel like we're seeing an advantage here for Can't Touch Me as these all go down. I don't even know if Benji responded to that fight, but you know, he's not even responding to these trebs being taken down here. He's got the halberdiers in with his trebs at the same time, slowing down those Savars. They're going to be running into those camels. You know, those halberdiers need to be fighting the camels. They do not need to be chasing this bombard cannon. So I think that's a mistake. They all got killed and that bombard cannon still remains. That's a little concerning to me if I'm Benji here. But we're seeing a very similar playing out of this game. You know, we're seeing Benji in a corner, needing to push out, but losing some of these fights. You know, trickling out these units a little bit. You need to get that decisive number. You need to get the right counter unit, which I think he has. He just needs to use it more effectively, perhaps, and take a good fight. I just don't know if he is. right now. At least he's got those halberdiers in there now. But Can't Touch Me, he understands how to work this battle. You need to get this Geppetto onto those halberdier and those camels to take out the knights. So another decisive victory, I think, there for Can't Touch Me. We're seeing inch forward with this castle again. Needs to be instantly repaired. Good work. We've got the bombard cannons to take out that tread. That's going to slow all momentum down there. These bombard cannons can be shifted here if they do not get taken down. But they do. But you know, those survivors are valuable and they're going to perish. What are the resources looking like? We've got enough gold on this side, although nobody's taken it. Got gold there, got another gold down here. So I feel like we've got enough gold for the Malian player. I do think, I'm not seeing much gold. Actually, we're seeing 0 on gold currently for Benji, because this is his only gold pile left. So he's going to be solely reliant on those halberdiers, and that's not a great position to be in. Can't waste those Geppetto. Those Geppetto are the things that are going to take down those halberdiers. We're seeing hoardings from Can't Touch Me as well, which I love to see. If you want to hold that position, you got 6,400 HP in those castles compared to 4,700. You're going to win the trip war now. Yeah, I think it's a similar game. We're going to see a little bit of a creep forward. I want to see these trebs immediately on this, although I don't want to trickle treb, that's the greatest sin, but you know, what's he going to do? He's going to run these halberdiers under this TC with some Geppetto, you know? I think this is a desperation play. I mean, it can't be good. You can't be wasting these halberdier. I mean, it's a bloodbath. Like, even if you take down these trebs, sure, you can produce halberdiers over and over and over again, but we're seeing his wood supply also plummet because he's just producing 37 halberdiers. That's only gonna last you so long. You know, the units destroyed, value destroyed. Is that seeable as I work through how to use capture rate? I guess, you know, kill to death ratio would be pretty indicative there. You know, we're seeing a 2-to-1 KD there, like double the kills to death. Yep, just lure him in, kill some more. And we're actually seeing 64 villages on wood. Honestly, if you've got 60 villages on wood, that's a losing game. You can't have 60 villages on wood. It's just a sign that your game is falling apart. I understand that you need it for the halberdier production. But if you're relying on halberdier production to win this game, I just don't think that's really viable, in my opinion. going into archery ranges now. You know, I don't think you need the archery ranges. Those halberdiers are now dead. Could wall this in perhaps. Camels are preoccupied. We do see enough camels there, perhaps. Look, I think it's bloodbath, the amount of units going down. Although, I think those are pretty well positioned there. We didn't see too many Gabellos go down, really. We're seeing the lone Persian elephant, extremely tanky unit go down quickly there. I'll just wall this off. I mean, if you wall this off, what's he going to do? He can only run halberdiers at your castle for so long. And now it's not wood that's the issue, even though he's got 50 farmers, food is becoming an issue. Again, this is just, I like the fight from Benji, but, and I guess it's his only option. He's got no gold, he can't access that gold. So I guess there's not that much else he can do. But at that point I think it's PG. But I appreciate the fight. He's also out of stone, so he's been repairing these castles from these fights, so he's been strong, holding out, but I see the resources running out. And again, it's just indicative of the last game as well, you know, being starved out, going for that super defensive style, but at the end of the game, what is going to make you win the game? I feel like it's not a winning strategy, but I respect it. You know, he hung in there. Maybe it was GG a little while ago, but you know, he did all he could to stay in the game. Maybe you never know in these games, right? Like, you never know what's going behind the scenes with what's happening with the opponent's base. But you know, as a caster, you can see everything happening. You know that the economy is safe. You know that it's pretty endless with the resources, although he didn't take that gold. We've only got people on that gold. Where is the other gold that he's going for? So, you know, Can't Touch Me had a little bit of some gold issues on his own side, but I feel like he would have much more easily figured out that problem. You know, let's just quickly see if he knew that that gold was there, which he did. So, you know, at any moment he could just saturate that gold pile and continue onwards. So, but yeah, respect to Benji. You never know what the gold situation will be on the other side. Can he keep producing units? But you know, a lot of units been thrown away there as well. So, great game for Can't Touch Me. 2-0 up. Sorry. Let's have a look at the stats. KD over 2, and well, you know, you're going to see that if you're running halberdiers at your opponent. A 0.38 KD. Economy, much in favour. You know, we saw 150 villages. You know, close to 150 there for Can't Touch Me. APM, you know, much the same as last time. Seeing double the APM for Can't Touch Me, so that might be playing a little bit of a factor, especially on the military side. Yeah, I just see a little bit more military control there for Can't Touch Me. So I think what we need to see from Benji, if he's to get this next game, he's not going to win those micro battles. He's going to have to come up with some out of the box strategy, I think. So let's see if he's able to achieve this. Let's play all three. Yeah, even though Can't Touch Me is 2-0 up, it is a play all three, and you know that the third match, even if you're down 2-0, is super important. You know, you never know. Is Can't Touch Me, is he going to be top of the group? If you win that one game, take that one game off, and maybe that's the difference to progressing. You never know. Yeah, so before we get into this match, let's just have a quick look at the chat. Back in Black. Played both of these players. Benji is more of a closed map player. Interesting. I feel as though he should have picked a closed map in the draft, because I would agree with you. He's got that boom economy defensive style going for him. Can't Touch Me is more of a high APM player, likes the micro archers and galleys. Definitely see that. Trash bows, we didn't see. Why don't I post in the live stream announcements? I believe I did. Could be wrong. Yeah. I've got a lot of work to do on the production side, promotion side. Like I said at the start of my stream, I'm just a dude who likes a bit of AoE too. Keen to cast some of these tournaments. Don't have big ambitions as a streamer, but you know, I should really put a lot of effort into making that a bit better, I think, for people that come here and view some of these games. You know, the main thing is to make sure, you know, my big ambition is to make sure each one of these players gets at least one game cast. I'd never like to see a player, you know, play their group and not get their game cast. So, yeah, my main goal is just to make sure these players get the game cast, make sure they feel the love, and you know, it's a great feeling when your game is cast. I remember Tactical Tea Time cast one of my games. It was an amazing feeling, and I'm sure other people would cast these players' games as well. But you know, just making sure that they do is my main ambition. Yeah. All right, let's get into this last game. Pacific Islands. Alright, so I think this is a map we're going to see the least in the tournament, because I generally think players don't like this map. An all water map, it's not a hybrid map really. The focus is on water, and generally players don't like to play water maps. People do like to play hybrid maps, but a map like this, not as popular. I think it's a great map. I think it lends itself to some interesting strategies, some great games, especially, you know, with the island play. Sometimes you see players go to the same islands, sometimes different islands, ends up in quite different games. So I think it's going to be a good game. Can lead to long games if you get that kind of one player on one island and the other player on a different island, and then you get these kind of stalemate situations. Maybe that's why it's not as popular. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Civ picks Portuguese. Obviously a great naval civ, especially with their special unit, Caravel, in the later game. Pretty hard to stop if you get to Caravel and you get a good number of them. Saracen, and I'm a big Portuguese player myself, I love Portuguese. Their gold bonus, I believe, also works with their ships. They get a gold discount on their ships because it affects all units. I believe that's how it works. So that's kind of the eco bonus on these water maps. You know, they do have the berry bonus, but I'm seeing on Pacific Islands here that there are no berries on the home island. Do we see berries on these? So there's no berries. Oh no, there are berries, sorry, on these islands. So 2 berries there, yeah, a couple berries. So that's usually the Portuguese bonus, eco bonus, but we won't see that until later in the game when, you know, the effect isn't as great as it is in the early game. You know, that's how Portuguese can kind of come away with quite a decent land map kind of win rate, because the eco bonus on those maps is not bad. Saracen's eco bonus is largely tied up in the market use, I believe, so we'll have to see some market use for Can't Touch Me. I'm trying to think of their other bonuses. I know they're a camel sieve, and I know they're a naval sieve too. I think the galleys are pretty good. Do they shoot next to arrow or something? Not sure. But I believe their navy is fairly decent. Equal fishing ships coming out here. Can't say me 0 idle TC time. So he is on point right now. He's here to win. We're seeing really tight play from Can't Touch Me. You know, we are seeing great play from Benji as well. Don't want to discount the games that he's having, you know. I feel like he's played a great game as well. Alright, we're scouting islands. Are we scouting islands as well from Can't Touch Me? We are indeed. So let's have a look at this scouting. We've actually seen Lord Benji completely scout the other island. You know, is this the place you put it on auto scout? Is that how that works? You go to an island, put it on auto scout, take it to the other island, auto scout. Is that how he's done this so efficiently? Not a bad strat, if that is what he's doing. Benji, scouting one island, knows where the opponent's dock is, which is important. I feel like you want to rush the other player's water eco. We have seen that as well from Benji. So, you know, I think these players have really strategized with this map. Again, I don't think it's the most popular map, but we can see that they've both taken pretty good approaches here and being prepared. Both scouts run past each other, not interested. They're here to scout. They're not here to fight, guys. You know, they've got that sword, but is it any of use? More like a wooden sword. Sword for show. They're here to scout, guys. Why get into a fight? And now they're just chilling. What's interesting is we're seeing, again, this is all stuff that I need to learn myself, but you see the villagers transported and creating wood camps. It's almost like a mirror game right now. Creating wood camps in the Dark Age. You know, going up to feudal, get your villagers on the island, create a wood camp, get that foothold. We're even seeing a mining camp here. Oh, first hit. You know, just a little tickle before you go back to the home island. Yeah, but if this is how this game plays out, it could be a long one. We're not seeing any eco raids, I believe, although 5 ships are coming out. We're not seeing any ships for, well, we're seeing galleys. And again, we saw the galley play by Can't Touch Me, and that did not succeed, remember? So, Saracen's good galley civ. Can't Touch Me going for galleys again. Didn't work out for him last time. And again, we're seeing fire ships from Benji. And again, I think it's just a product of the skill level. I think you can make galleys work, especially when you get enough numbers. But at the skill level, you know, the ability to micro the galleys, you know, the attention, the APM, you know, especially on Benji's side with the lower APM, you can just kind of set and forget your fire ships onto the enemy while you go off and do other things action-wise. I think, at least in terms of Benji, that's the right play. Yeah. Again, we've got the berry bonus. Berries not been taken yet, although they are more efficient to get food off for the Portuguese. We haven't seen a market yet for Can't Touch Me. I think it's going to be pretty critical when going up to the next age. And here we go. Navy. We're not seeing huge fishing boat numbers, which I think is really interesting. You know, maybe I overboomed with fish, but that's not high numbers. So there's really not much eco to take on both sides, and yet they both, well, Benji invests more in water militarily than Can't Touch Me. Interesting. And I don't think Can't Touch Me has the wood production, the necessary wood production. You know, I think he needs to invest a bit more in water, but he's investing in food because he wants to go for that fast castle like we saw in Shoals. He had a very fast castle. And it's actually Benji that's got that fast castle time. How he did that, I'm not sure. To be honest, yeah. I see a lot on food. Can't Touch Me, but yeah, he's still a little bit behind. Don't have the gold even for it yet, although very close. And again, you needed the market. You needed to work that market at Saracens to make that work, I think, because that is your eco bonus. I think you need demos as well. We didn't see Can't Touch Me go into demos last time, and I don't think we're going to this time. Just going to check the Discord very quickly. Apologies for pausing the stream, but I am just going to see if I did post in the Discord. Yeah, apparently I did not. You know what, that's fine. I don't mind, to be honest, but obviously to get views, you need to do that. Actually, did I post in caster scheduling? Yes, I did. That was my mistake. Yeah, that's fine, to be honest. My bad. I'll amend that next time. But that is an overwhelming amount of fire ships. An overwhelming amount. And I think it's fair to say Lord Benji is in the lead in this game. He's getting the eco upgrades. Alongside that, he's getting the TC up. We did see a demo shot, but you know, I think there was adequate spreading of the ships there. Oh, and we're seeing a back away. I think he knows that that is there. So interesting. Interesting indeed, and I love this from Benji actually. He's on both islands. He's got a siege workshop there. He's going for the mangonel. He's going for the monks. He's expecting, you know, some camel or knight play. Oh, this is. I said at the start of the game, this is what we needed to see from Benji. We needed that higher level strategy to overcome that APM difference. He knows, and he knows now, definitely, that that knight is there. Let's see what his monk usage is like. Monk Mangonel. This is stuff I could never do, guys, and stuff that I would never, to be honest, even think about. Is a unit composition, Monk Mangonel. And I know that's a very viable strategy at higher skill. And he got the conversion. This is looking very promising for Benji. Although, you know, the same strategy has happened here for Can't Touch Me. This is turning out to be a great game. A great game. We're going to see some villager kills in this castle, and I don't think he can get this castle up as long as he, you know, his mangonels stay up. This castle should never go up. Oh, I am absolutely loving this from Benji. This is fantastic. It's those villagers. Even if he gets his castle up, he's going to end up killing a lot of villagers. Did he even get some villager conversions? We're seeing a 15 villager lead right now. That was well worth it. Well worth it. You don't want to lose these fire galleys though, fire ships. And I need to see them upgraded as well, actually. But that was very impressive indeed. And behind this, he's got the economy rolling. You know, a bit of idle TC time, but that's understandable with, you know, that going on. He's going into a bunch of monk tech, so he's planning on sticking with these monks as well. Which is really cool to see. Really cool to see, guys. Pacific Islands and monks. Yeah, wasn't expecting it as a strat. But very smart, knowing that he's going to go into knights, mangonels, and monks. Great stuff. So how do you transition this now? That's the question. And I wonder where the attention is right now for Benji. And wow, we're actually going to see Horse Collar come in now for Can't Touch Me. That indicates to me that a bit of stress on the side, you know, when you see text missing at this stage of the game, you know, it comes down to a bit of stress, a bit of attention diverted in other places. And another monastery. This is fascinating, guys. You know, and if you see this as Can't Touch Me, do you transition? You know, I think archers are the next play here for Saracens. I think they've got fairly decent archers, right? This is incredible. I didn't even see these rams get built. So is it the best play? you're still going to come under fire by these, and you know, you might have you know, villagers attacking your rams as well. And look at this monk control. Monks on these different units. This knight is going to be converted as well. And will this monk survive? He does. Incredible, I'm going to say. And if they can, the panic repair, clutch. Very clutch. But I think that was, again, pretty decent trade, although Brams don't cost nothing. Their castle's going to go down for sure. And I think it's a smart castle. And again, this knight will be converted. Wow. Benji. I'm seeing a whole new Benji in this game. Props to you, brother. Very impressive. Oh, goodness. That was close. You know, Mamelukes with the shorter range against monks is a bit of an issue. Because can they get to the monks in time to throw their little scimitars out to him? Probably not. Gotta bring these monks back though. Look, the ram play was cute. I don't think it's working out for you. I think you need a plan to have something else coming in here alongside these monks. Or just get to Imperial. I think it's probably the play. And then treads monks. Maybe throw in some pikes or something. Actually, Can't Touch Me trying to respond with his own monks. A bit of a monk battle. Very brazen here, taking the stone, but he hasn't really done much with the stable. You know, what can you do with the knights if there's monks out there? He did go for a few light cab, I think, as well. And we're seeing the light cab play here as well, which again, very smart. But there's just too many monks. And now you've got 3 light cab, you know. You needed a bit of more of a mass. And I think, oh, so is this a bit of a desperation play? No, I thought he was maybe gonna, I think maybe you take those Mamelukes, come to this island, because this is unprotected, right? You know, where are the fire ships? They're in no man's land. You could just put them here to block that potential, but maybe the Mamelukes could have come in here and killed like, you know, 20 villages or something. More monk techs. Again, I don't play monks. I don't even know what half these techs do. That's how little I play monks. A weakness of my game for sure. We're seeing the conversion of buildings. That is so smart. I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed, guys. with that forethought. How do I get buildings off my island? I'll convert them. What a great idea. Again, I think these Mamelukes do way more damage down here. Transporting your villagers into Mamelukes though, probably not a great idea. But attention is elsewhere, of course, and ooh, okay. could be a bit of a sitting duck castle though, because we are an Imperial. I will get those troops out ASAP to take down the sitting duck castle. See a lot of villages being transported around by both players. But yes, we are seeing the trebs coming now. And I think that castle's a bit of a desperation play, I'm afraid. Especially when you know that the opposition is in Imperial. You know those trebs will be coming out, but what military does Benji actually have apart from monks? Which is only 4 monks right now, to be honest. I would not put that castle up. Do not put that castle up. Interesting what happens there. Where he's going to go back into the ship, so more transported villages. Interesting. Block printing again. No idea what block printing does. So I'm mucking around with villages again. Some more, you know, we saw the diving by Lord Benji in the last game, and this positioning is amazing. But we do see some conversions come out. But the conversions will come in clutch, and it should be enough to make sure that this goes down. And we're going to see a second castle. So I think this island is one. But seeing a lot of idle time. Worker efficiency last minute. We're seeing around 50% for both players. As we see more villages being transported. I've never seen so many transported villages in my life. Well, just use the villages you've got in each spot. I guess Benji wants him off this island because he thinks this island is lost, but I think he could have skirted around here and done something over here. Do you need the villages on this island in particular? More villages coming over. You know, I am Australian. Well, I'm actually a Kiwi, but you know, Australian, living in Australia right now. Does feel like the late 1800s or the early 1900s with the great migration from Europe to some newfound land, with all these villages coming to and from. Yeah. I would have kept these villages on this island with the castle. You don't want to lose a foothold on islands. You want to hold on to it as much as possible. Those villages got to go down. You can't let them escape, surely. Yeah, please get them. Do not let them escape. Now, if you're Benji, do you just bypass this island? Although there's not much villages over here anymore. Go for the cannon galleon. Yes, you do. You don't want to run cannon galleons as he tries to dodge with a cannon galleon. Yeah, you're not going to be successful with that. They're pretty slow. But we've got them now appropriately on castles. We only see 2 ships for Can't Touch Me. You know, I think if you're gonna hold this position now, if you can't touch me, if you're coming from a behind position, you need to establish some water supremacy, otherwise these castles are gone. You know, I think if it's a stalemate like this, island to island, then it kind of transitions back to water. You can keep repairing that castle, but you are expending all your stone by doing that. And unless you've got some kind of plan about how you're going to overcome this, could be just a drain on resources. Especially because you've got nobody on stone either. So now you've got no chance, although he did buy, it looks like he bought some, yeah, which using the Saracen bonus for sure, but is it a great use of resources, you know? Especially because, well, I guess it's delaying in order to build up your galley mass, but you do need more docks. I feel like you need more docks to make that happen. You know, I think it's a waste of stone as he buys more stone. It's just like a bottomless pit. Is he going to buy more stone? Yeah. Oh no, he buys wood for boats. He's not going to buy more stone. They're getting pretty expensive now as well, as these ships are on this gold. Now 2 trebs are going to try and take that castle. That castle's gone. So we're going to see Benji, well I think, barring some unfortunate event from Benji, I think we're going to see him pick up a game, which amazing to see. You always want to see, well, I prefer to see a 2-1 kind of victory rather than a 3-0. And look at that, we're seeing 7 Mamelukes on the side of the Portuguese player. And how cool is that? And they're all healed up from monks as well. He's played this brilliantly. This has been a masterpiece, or a master pizza, as Viper would say. And they're on these villages, there's no chance. As Can't Touch Me. GG's. Very interesting, because, you know, Can't Touch Me won the 2 games, obviously, won the set, but in terms of the best game, I think Benji had the best game on this Pacific Islands map. So I think that's a great consolation to come out of this. You know, the first games I feel like were too defensive on Benji's part. Didn't necessarily see the aggression that we needed there, and perhaps the unit compositions from Benji there. But then coming into this game 3 with these monks and these Mamelukes, and you can actually see they're most created on the Portuguese player side. 12 Mamelukes. That's funny that comes up in the stats, eh? And they were all healed from the monks as your 3rd created unit. That's hilarious. Again, a masterpiece, and I think Benji should be really happy with that win. Let's have a look at some stats. Military, again, we're gonna see Can't Touch Me win on those military battles, right? With his micro, when we get to the APM, we're gonna see him climb above Lord Benji there. We know he's going to win the micro battle. We know he's going to win the military battle. But like I said at the start, it's going to be that high level strategy. If Benji was going to get a win, he was going to get it on high level strategy, which is exactly what he did. So that's amazing. Economy, 51,000 to 40,000, big lead there. I think that Imperial timing was huge to counter, the castle that Canttouchme put on his island. So that was huge. And APM, similar story. High APM, Canttouchme, 23. This is my range. This is where I like to play, in the 20s. Maybe sometimes low 30s, but in the 20s for APM, that's where I play. So mad respect for beating a 1300 player with a 23 APM. Again, what else can I say? That was fantastic. Just going to look at the chat here. Rbase. Rbase say clown time. Yeah. Block printing gives months 3 range. Very handy to know. Benji needs ballistics. Yeah. For his castles and stuff. Yep. Troops heading the galleons. Yeah. That was a bit of a desperation for can't touch me. Low APM legends. Yeah. Look, I think it was a bit of a resource sink there for Canttouchme. Sinking all that stone into that castle with no course of recuperation, if you will. Amazing. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there. A great set. I guess just planning on future casts. I want to cast at least one more set this week, and I want to do it from the brick bracket. I want to get another 2 new players to cast. So the last cast I did Cthugel and Alcatraz, great series. Benji here, Canttouchme here. I want to get 2 new players, and again, like I said before, I want to make sure that everybody in brick bracket gets at least 1 match cast. So that's really my plan. If I have a bit of time, I'm going to find ways to up the production value. I haven't been really encouraged to get any co-casters yet. I'm really just finding my feet, guys. Like, what is my casting style? When you introduce more people into the fold, you might, I might second guess myself, or maybe take a back seat, or not feel confident. So just finding my feet right now with my casting style. Hope you're enjoying. But as we get further and further into the tournament, maybe I'll reach out to one of the many great casters on the Discord and do a few sets with them, because I think that'll be really fun. But for now, I think I'm going to stick with the solo cast and go that way. Yeah, what else is there to say? Like, again, mad props to the organisers of this tournament for putting this all together. And again, mad props to the players, to all the other casters. I think more than ever, I've seen like a variety of casters step up. And maybe when I was in the tournament, we had Tactical Tea Time come in. He casted a lot of games. Like, the volume at which he was casting was insane, and dare I say unsustainable. And he is still casting some of these sets, thank goodness, because I love his casts. But we're seeing more and more of a variety of casters come in, and I think that's only a good thing. Even the low production casters such as myself, it just gives a bit of variety, builds that community, and I'm just really excited to be a part of it. So yeah, looking forward to casting more, and catch you guys next time. Maybe Friday, maybe Saturday, Australian times is my jam around this time. I think that's probably the most likely. Cool. I'll catch you guys later.